love Turgeon. And it's funny, first thing he said, guys, I can't talk about recruits, because you knew where the questions were gonna come. First question, guys, ask about that. I mean, the first question after he says that, the guy says, well, I'm not gonna mention names, but how did you feel when you lost certain people? He said, I can't talk about it. I have about 3 minutes of him talking about it that I wouldn't play, because he didn't really talk about it, but it was like grazing it. And then, Wayne, you were there that night. Every question was about the recruits. You know, it was like people just don't get it.
Well, they don't get it, but I think the good part is people are paying attention. I mean, people are really paying attention on recruiting, and that's got to do a lot of good for the kids that you mentioned. And then the recruiting that doesn't get talked about is at Midnight Madness, and Rick was there in the front row last night. You see Evan Smotrich, who comes out, a 6'8" guy that was a transfer that you could call a recruit. And then Des Wells was amazing last night.
Well, we all know that Des Wells is amazing, but Rick, has the Jacklistch Law Group gotten involved with his defense?
Not involved in that particular one, but
Viener just won't take on the NCAA, and I can understand why. I mean,
I wouldn't say that. I think they're pushing very hard behind the scenes to get this thing done.
yeah, but you know, if you were pushing hard, in my opinion, wouldn't they call up Rick Jacklistch pro bono and say, defend this kid?
Well, they don't need him yet.
Enter suit against the NCAA
They don't need
for a
him.
guy. Listen, for a guy whose rights were taken from him for
I
no
agree.
reason.
And that's why they're pushing behind the scenes. Xavier has said that this kid should play. That's going to be a big help with the NCAA.
Yeah, but they're not going to get it. I don't want to be negative, but the NCAA.
That's negative.
It is negative, but and you know what? I mean, what scares me a little bit is that if he doesn't get the year, you know, at the end of this year, he might say, you know what, I'm going to Europe, or I'm going to try my wares, and this guy can play.
No doubt.
He can fly. I mean, I saw just the stuff he made on the warm-up drill was sideways.
You know what's amazing is last year we had 6 walk-ons on that team. I mean, Turgeon could barely run a practice with quality players. And the big thing you saw last night, the thing that struck me, you know, Wayne talks about Smotrich and Wells. And you say, hey, these guys aren't even here this year potentially. They're here next year. Look what Turgeon's going to build. Jake Lehman, Bruce, this is going to be one of the most popular players in Maryland history.
Somebody asked Turgeon on Thursday night about losing Justin Anderson. And without even blinking his eye, he said, well, we got Jake Lehman. And it's true. In other words, Justin Anderson's great, but Jake Lehman's is probably his equal, if not better. I mean, we really don't know until they play, but you couldn't have had both of them.
Well, I agree.
Jake Lehman wouldn't have come if Justin Anderson was here.
And Lehman jumped out at me last night. Just the smoothness in the open court.
That young man was beaten with a good-looking stick too. All right, I bet he's knocking the. He's got to push the ladies away. Wayne, what do you think?
6'8", has sort of a California look.
Surfer look.
Surfer look. Seems like all the guys love him. I've seen him walking around with the other players at soccer games. He seems to be the center of attention.
Yeah, well, he's more important that he can hit the three-point shot. All right, and that's really what we need. All right,
the other thing that jumped out, Bruce, was the depth in the front court between Clear and Mitchell. And
well, that was my next point, and one of the points that Coach Turgeon made, and we're going to bring up. Let's bring up Alex Len right now about the physicality at practice.
We're here with Alex Len, speaking great English now, Alex. All right?
Not great, but
pretty good. Tell us about the physicality of the practices. We hear that from Shaq and Charles that it's a battle out there.
Yeah, I think it's like a present for me to have Shaq on the team, to bang it against him every day. So it's gonna help me to play against guys in the ACC like last year. I had like struggles, like I was struggling against guys who were stronger than me. So like now I have Shaq, so it's like my preparation for the season.
The coach in the press conference before this event was talking about he's going to open you up and allow you to shoot a little bit. Does that excite you?
Yeah, I'm really excited for that.
What's your range basically?
I've been working on like 18-footers a lot, and also like 3-point shots too. Coach allows me. to shoot if I'm open.
So kind of like a Dirk.
Kind of.
Well, you know, that's what he does, you know.
Yeah.
Talk about your adjustment now. It's been you came and you know your accomplishments last year were fantastic. Not knowing the language and everything, but how comfortable are you in Maryland now?
Yeah, I'm much more confident and comfortable than last year. I adjusted to the culture already, so I feel so much confident better than I felt last year.
Amazing how, you know, he speaks, you know, the words and the vocabulary was very strong for somebody who's only been here a year. And
So it was his three-pointer last night from the corner.
listen, Turgeon said last night he might be the best shooter on the team. I mean, his three-point shot is deadly. And it's the European mentality, like Dirk. It's all about Dirk. They copy him. They got the shot, and he should be 1/3 as good as Dirk. But you know, but he is, from what I saw. Look, he was good last year. He couldn't speak the language.